Summer is still winding down, but Maine Housing Authority says now is the time to plan ahead for the winter months. Kadichi Lawrence has more.
Thousands of low-income Maine households benefit from the federal heating assistance program.
We've had 29,000 households already sign up or sign up to get an appointment so that they can apply for this program.
But this year, Scott Tissell, Director of Communication for Maine State Housing Authority, says the funding will be limited compared to the previous year.
Pandemic funding starts to wind down. We're going back to sort of pre-pandemic levels of assistance. We expect that we will still receive approximately a $40 million grant from the federal government. That's about the typical amount that we receive every year here in Maine.
Last year, the state received an extra $63 million in state funding, which provided $1,100 in assistance to 38,000 households. While they're expecting a 6% increase in funding applications this year, Tissell says the assistance available will be cut in half.
This year, we're anticipating that the average or typical benefit amount is going to be around $550. So as you can see, that's a 50% decrease.
He says now is the time to plan accordingly.
It's really meant to help a household supplement their heating bill. It's not meant to pay for all their heating bill. It's meant to help pay for a portion of their heating bill.
With the current lower prices of heating oil, Tissell says it may be time to take advantage of it. Charlie Summers, president of Maine Energy Marketers Association, agrees.
Take a moment. Make sure you're thinking about your needs for the winter in terms of home heating, and contact your fuel oil or your propane dealer. Reach out to them, talk to them. A lot of them right now are offering contract pricing.
Summers says contract pricing will protect the consumer from price fluctuation and ultimately a heating crisis in the winter months. But if you find yourself in a heating emergency, dial 211 Maine for assistance.
And those operators there, they're amazing partners, and they help people connect to the resources that they need. So that's another thing. If folks find themselves in crisis and they're not sure what to do, but now's the time to prepare so we can try to avoid a heating emergency in the middle of winter.
Kadichi Lawrence, WABI TV5 News.